Okay, so we are going to talk about how to use the Desmos graphing calculator in order to get your project data. So we're going to go to desmos.com/calculator, and then you're going to sign in so you can save your work and come back to it when you need it. So when you click sign in, just click sign in with your Google account. If you're already signed into Google, it should be all set. Otherwise, you log in with your school Google account. It will, if it's the first time you've used it, it will ask you to give permission for Desmos to access your Google account, and you can click yes. And then you can give the graph a name right away. So my project data, or whatever you want to call it. And so now we're going to enter some data, and so we're going to come over here to the plus sign. We're going to add a table, and so you'll have some data, and I'll just make up some temperature data maybe. So we have day 15, the temperature, high temperature is 65, day 45, it's 68. We just keep clicking and adding X and Y values, and get some data. And of course you'll have more data, at least 12 points. You'll notice a couple things. One, there's no data showing up, and that's because I'm sort of set on a standard window over here, and these numbers are too big. So there's a couple things you can do. You can just keep hitting zoom out until you see some data, and there some is. And so you can zoom in. You can grab it and move it around to get it looking good. In general, the zoom in and out sort of adjusts the X and Y axes together, so you don't want to do that. In the end, to get a nice window, you're going to want to come up to the wrench here and then set the settings manually, sort of like setting the X min and max and Y min and max on your graphing calculator. And so now I can come in here and say, oh, well, I don't really need to see many negative X's. And for Y's, or for my X max, if I'm going for a full year, you'd go out to 390 or something like that. For the temperatures, I also don't need to see negatives really, maybe just a little bit to get the axis in there clearly. And I definitely don't need much over 100. And so you can get a pretty clear picture here. If you want the dots to be a little bigger, easier to read, you can switch to projector mode. You can also fiddle with settings over here. First, you can just turn the plot on and off if you need to do that. You can also click the gear, and then you can change color. You can connect the dots, which we don't really want to do, but you can change the color to get that looking like you want to. The other thing you can do is you can label the axes, which is definitely a nice thing to do. So on the y-axis, I can put average high temperature. Oh, that's the x-axis. So this is the day of the year. And so we see that showing up down there. And then average high temp in Minneapolis. And so you're maybe going to have to play around with it a little bit to get the labels showing up in a good place. Once you've got it looking good, or you just reach a point where you need to stop, make sure you save your data. And then when you come back and you log into Desmos, you can get your graph here, and it'll pop up right with what you had done before, and won't lose any of your work. And then finally, at the end of the project, you're going to want to make sure your teacher can actually see, in addition to the screenshots that you're doing throughout the project, that your teacher can actually get the actual Desmos graph up on their screen. And so you just click this share link and copy this entire link here, and that's what you will paste into the appropriate spot on your project. I think that's it. Thank you.